So I asked a guy who knows the Justice Department as well as anybody in this country, Brett Tallman, former U.S. Attorney for Utah, to make some calls over the weekend, investigate what the deuce is going on. And we've got three major things we want to talk about here. The first one is basically the October 6th committee making noise that the information they've compiled, of course unchallenged, will lead to an indictment of Donald Trump for conspiracy or whatever. What's your assessment of that, Brett?
You know, we have been hearing that the committee has been wanting to make a referral to the Department of Justice. I can tell you, Bill, that it is a very short list of instances ever that the Congress has successfully referred anyone for prosecution. Here you have the ultimate challenge of trying to prosecute the president who is alleged at the time he was president to have committed these crimes. There's so many issues and problems with it. I think it's more show than it is anything else, but you have a DOJ that is politically, bent on trying to maintain the same messaging that the executive branch, the White House, is coming up with.
About that, on every issue, Garland echoes Biden. But I have not heard of any FBI agents actively investigating Donald Trump, and I would know because I have access to him, on anything. There haven't been any FBI visits, haven't been any subpoenas for documents, haven't been anything. What does that indicate to you? If the FBI has done nothing, what does that indicate?
Well, first of all, it indicates the challenge that they have to try to investigate a sitting president, these allegations. It's very clear if they were taking them seriously, a grand jury would have been impaneled.
Already.
That would be the only way that...
Right.
What's
Already
that?
A grand jury would be up and running.
That's correct.
Now,
That's correct.
It is possible after the October 6th committee wraps up, whatever dog and pony show they have planned for us in July, because they're not going to extend it into the fall, that the FBI then would take their data and do something. Isn't that possible?
It is possible. I think that they will receive it. I think Chris Wray has a very difficult challenge ahead of him because he's going to have a lot of political pressure to push that investigation forward. Merrick Garland will have considerable political pressure. The problem, though, is that the law and the facts don't support a criminal investigation, and it clearly doesn't. And you're going to hear from individuals that have been in the Department of Justice on both sides of the political aisle indicate as much.
All right. The second troubling issue is basically I don't know, let me put this. It doesn't seem like the Hunter Biden situation. It's 2 years since the grand jury has been impaneled in Delaware. It doesn't take 2 years to do this kind of investigation. So I'm saying that this is just phony, this whole Hunter Biden thing. How do you see it?
Yeah, the concern I have, Bill, is when you have already put witnesses in front of the grand jury, you're supposed to request that the grand jury, once they've heard from all the witnesses, to vote on whether or not to indict. And they put witnesses many, many months ago in front of the grand jury. So the question really is, do they ever intend to? Because I've never seen it take this long from the time they had witnesses in front of the grand jury to when the prosecutor says, okay, you have the case now, grand jury, now go and vote on whether or not an indictment should come.
Yeah, the prosecutor is a guy named David Weiss, Delaware's U.S. attorney. But this looks phony to me because, as you said, it doesn't take 2 years. It's not that complicated a case. Either Hunter Biden broke international laws or dodged taxes, or he didn't. And 2 years? Now, is it possible that because the grand jury members, they have to come, they get paid, by the way. They're regular folks. They're impaneled on a grand jury. 2 years? Yep. Is that possible? Have you ever seen anything like that?
I have not seen anything like that. I will tell you that the Department of Justice policy is that you charge your highest provable offense and you do so as quickly as possible. In
Yeah,
this instance,
that would
Bill,
be tax evasion because
that would be
he's
tax
already
evasion,
paid
and they
it.
could have. That's
Right.
right. They could have brought that case long ago, and in fact, I would have brought that case in order to get him to cooperate on the other lines of
The other
investigation
cases,
and wrap
right.
it all up.
I think this indicates that the Justice Department is corrupt. If you put the October 6th stuff and you put the Hunter Biden stuff on the table, and now the third one, which is the leaker inside the Supreme Court. Again, it doesn't take that long. There's only a few people who had access to Alito's files. Maybe what? 6? 5? Come on.
The universe. I mean, the leaker is very frustrating because a lot of this is Justice Roberts. If he had referred it to the Department of Justice, they have a politically sensitive prosecution and investigation unit that would have gone to bat immediately and started to seize all computers, hard drives, copy them, copy phone hard drives. They would be able to know instantly who the leaker is and could have brought that case and really given a lot of transparency.
Roberts didn't make that referral. Instead, the U.S. Marshals were tasked with finding the leaker, and that's who's investigating, the U.S. Marshals. Which seems to me, I don't have any confidence the U.S. Marshals can do this kind of investigation. Do you?
I don't, because they don't have subpoena power. In this instance, you would need a grand jury in order to subpoena the documents or the records. So what it seems as though they're wanting to do is have volunteers come forward to cooperate.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's
right. All right,
that's not going to happen.
Look, I'm not a conspiratorialist. You know that. I knock down those conspiracy theories on a daily basis. But this one, it looks like Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, is running a very corrupt outfit in the Justice Department. Very, very serious situations are either being ignored or we're being misled. The public's being misled. And we never get any updates from anything. But I wouldn't be surprised if Garland does something to Trump, particularly before the November election, the midterm election. See, I think they may be holding back some Trump stuff to try to get the Democrats in a better position in November. Again, it's not a conspiracy. I'm basically doing speculation based on what we know. Final question for you. Is it really possible the Justice Department could be this corrupt? Is that possible?
Well, look at the double standard, Bill, and contrast. I've been told that part of the reason the Hunter Biden case has not been brought is because of a memo that the Department of Justice has put that said they don't want to influence elections with their prosecutions. And then you're right, we're going to see them do that very same thing when it comes to Trump and the Republicans because they're concerned about the upcoming election. And,
you think that'll
and so when
happen?
you see a double standard, that's corruption. When you see a double standard in the Department of Justice, that's the definition, I think, to the public of what corruption is applying the law in a way that is inconsistent based on the politics.
All right, so you think it's very possible that something could happen in October regarding him in the October 6th committee?
Yeah, I would predict that what they do is an announcement that they are digging into the January 6th recommendations and that they are going to subpoena documents and witnesses, and they're going to pursue the investigation. And that might be enough for them to do, as much as they can with this election coming up.
All right. Thank you, Brett. We appreciate it. One correction, I kept saying October 6th committee. It's January 6th committee. I'm sorry, I'm like Joe Biden. I need a teleprompter. January 6th, O'Reilly. Sorry for that error.